Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Jeff Foster. I've got a pretty long message to share with you this morning, so let's get right into it. Our minds can sometimes seem a bit like a chaotic weather system, with thoughts swirling like storm clouds and emotions crashing like thunder. But have you ever taken yourself outside in the middle of a thunderstorm to look up at all that turbulence and remind yourself that not very far away, on the other side of those clouds, are perfectly clear skies, an endless expanse of blue and unfettered sunlight? Our own minds can be described in a very similar way. Sunbury, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. Great seeing you. There's really only one quote. Sorry, I seem to have a hair adamant on staying in my mouth. Only one quote from Jeff Foster that I'm sharing today. This quote is profound enough that we can spend a bit of time just on this one thought. He says, "Don't mistake the weather of your mind for the sky of your being." Don't mistake the weather, the always changing, always passing weather of your mind, for the clear sky, permanently clear sky of your being. Maggie, good morning. It is so good to see you. Hello. And Danae, good morning. So let's dive into this. What is this? How does this relate to meditation? Well, the original meaning of the word meditation is to become familiar with, the concept of becoming familiar with. And it's understandable that grasping exactly what this means can be out of reach for new meditators. So I'll break this down, and if you've been meditating with us for a while, you'll have a clear grasp of this. Linda, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Hello. Right, so becoming familiar with as an understanding of what meditation is. The first thing we become familiar with is usually our very busy minds. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, the inner critic, the inner child, all of the things that made us reach for meditation as a possible tool. So often we try out meditation in an attempt to escape from these things, only to find that as we sit down to meditate, we come face to face with these same things even more directly than ever before. And we say, I can't do this. Meditation is not for me. My mind is too busy. Meditation makes me anxious. So that is normally the first thing we become familiar with as we embark on a journey of meditation. And then, if we stick it out, the next thing that we become familiar with is a recognition of what is temporary. I want to give you a few examples of how to think about this. If you sat still in one place and watched the ocean, just watching and becoming familiar with what you were seeing, how long would it take you to recognize that the tide rolls in and it also always rolls back out? If you sat equally still and just watched the sky for a day, not doing anything but watching, how long would it take you for the realization to dawn on you that clouds roll in and they also always roll out? Would you come to the conclusion that placing too much importance on the momentary level of the sea or the density of the clouds would be pointless because in a short while it would be completely different? So then, if you were able to sit still in one place and just watch your mind without becoming involved in the thinking, how long would it take you to realize that thoughts and emotions roll in and they also always roll on out? And that placing too much importance on the momentary state of your thoughts and feelings would be equally pointless because in just a short while, it's likely to be different. So the second thing we become familiar with is how many of the things we experience has a temporary nature. And so with time, and this can take a while, the third thing that we become familiar with is an understanding of what has permanence. There lies within each of us a sense of being from where we have the capacity to observe the transient nature of all the things that flow in and also flow out. This space within you has been called the observer, the soul, the higher self, the witness, the I am, whatever you choose to call this part of you. There is a permanence there, a sense of being immovable regardless of outside circumstances. The more that you become familiar with the permanence that lies within you, the more you are seeing through the timeless eyes of your soul. Jeff Foster's quote, "Don't mistake the weather of your mind for the sky of your being," beautifully captures this truth. That your momentary emotional state is something that will always be shifting, that you can learn to trust that there is a steady, deeper being to your human experience, that you will always gently return to if you can find acceptance for the darker clouds that sometimes roll in and also roll out. It's only when you stop judging the busy weather of your mind that you start to experience the beautiful sky of your being. Your true nature is not something that you have to work for or try to achieve. Your true nature has always been a part of the soul that you already are. Doesn't it just make sense that surrender is the act that gets you there? If you're ready, today's meditation, of course, is I Am the Mountain. You can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. while you continue your full body breathing. Become deeply aware of the rise of every cell in your body as you inhale, and the fall of every cell in your body as you exhale. We have all been in the presence of a mountain before. I want you to remind yourself what that feels like. Remind yourself of a mountain's presence. And imagine for a moment what it would be like for that mountain. Being this immovable presence over thousands, actually millions of years. What are all of the things that this mountain has seen come and also go throughout these thousands and millions of years? And none of this needed any interference from the mountain. Without the mountain doing anything, so much around it has come and gone. It seems to be the nature of things to come and also go. Especially watch the human busyness around the mountain for a while. Humans like tiny ants scurrying around. And most of what the humans brought was not permanent either. Most of that left too. Watching the world around it for millennia, would the mountain have a deeper sense of what is important and what is just not? And of course, the reminder is that there is a part of us that has an equal permanence to this mountain. A part of us with an immovable sense of being that has equally seen everything come and most of it go. Your soul knows what is important and what is just not. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, let's focus on our spine for a moment. See if you can tilt your head to the left. And at the same time, could you possibly tilt your hips over to the right, curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. And are you able to change direction? Can you tilt your head to the right and your hips to the left? One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then right here is normally a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, let's take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel all the way into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you of your sense of the mountain. For a moment, feel that immovable essence when you stand next to a mountain, and embody as much of it as you can. Take your next big breath. I want to invite you to be as open and as playful with this experience as you can be. Add as much imagination as you can, and invite that playful part of you, the child within, to come and play along. We're going to explore this mountain visually as much as we can. And while it's not important that with your eyes closed you have to see vivid imagery, but open yourself to the possibility. Play around with imagination, and here's why this is helpful. When you visualize with your eyes closed, your brain waves come down lower. You can compare it to going to bed at night, falling asleep, and dreaming. You're going from a wakeful state to a sleeping state to a dreaming state. And in a dreaming state, you're likely to see imagery that's not exactly realistic for the moment. Now, our brain follows the same route even if we're awake. When you close your eyes, when you slow everything down, and when you visualize, your brain waves could even come as low as the theta brainwave state when you sleep. Why is this helpful, this low brainwave state? Well, it kind of removes the barrier between your conscious and your subconscious mind. It brings your conscious and your subconscious into one space together. In other words, you simply have more access to your subconscious. Your subconscious sits and pays attention more than it even normally does. So let's lean into the visualization part. with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, do a fly around your mountain. See it from top to bottom. Is this mountain completely covered in vegetation? Is this mountain perhaps completely rocky? Or is it somewhere in between? How do you see this mountain? Take your next big breath. Now let's zoom in. Zoom into the plants of your mountain and lean into the visualization. Once again, we don't always see clear images, but you understand what I mean when I say visualization. We can sometimes get a sense of imagery, even if the imagery is more of a feeling than seeing pictures. Zooming into the plants, find a specific plant to have a look at. And I want you to zoom all the way into this plant. How closely can you see it from top to bottom? And then zoom in even closer to a leaf or a flower. Can you see the details of the edges of the leaf or the petals of the flower? Can you even see the veins that are visible in the leaf or the petals of the flower? Take your next big breath. Now find an animal on your mountain that we could also zoom into and find as much detail as possible. See the whole animal. See the color. See all the way into the fur and the different shades of color in the fur. Can you even see the individual hairs? Take your next big breath. then let's zoom into the birds of your mountain. Find a bird to have a close look at. And lean into the visualization. See the colors of the feathers. Look at the different patterns you can see on the feathers. Zoom in to see a feather in all of its minute detail. Take your next big breath. Now let's look at the mountain again. And even more than that, become this mountain, sit and embody this force of nature. Remind yourself for a moment all of the life that is held in the arms of this mountain. Imagine the mountain sitting in sunlight, its surface warmed by the rays of sunshine. How does this mountain feel about basking in the sun? Take your next big breath. And if clouds were to roll in and there's no more sunlight, would the mountain be trying to hold on to the sunlight and say, no, don't go? And if from the clouds, if it started to rain, would the mountain resist the rain and say, but the sunlight was better? Or how does the mountain feel about sitting in the rain? Drops on its surface turning into rivulets and streams. How does the mountain feel about sitting in the rain? Take your next big breath. And then if the sun goes down and the wind picks up and what was just rain turns into a full-blown storm. Wind and water lash the face of your mountain. pitch black darkness, but loud, with the occasional flash of lightning, crash of thunder. How much does the mountain feel like it needs to resist the storm? How does the mountain feel about sitting in the middle of a storm? Take your next big breath. And then the next morning, when the sun rises again, when the skies are clear and the air is fresh and the first rays of sunlight touch the face of your mountain, how does your mountain feel about sitting in a brand new day? Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. There's only one quote from Jeff Foster that made up the whole of today's message. And it is, don't mistake the weather of your mind for the sky of your being. The next time you're dealing with thoughts and emotions that are uncomfortable or horrible to deal with, we could call these many different things: thoughts, emotions, feelings, the inner critic, the inner child. So many different labels we can put on those. Or whatever you want to call it, the next time you have that experience, could you try sitting with the experience? Having those thoughts, those emotions flood you. And then try and find the part of you that doesn't judge these thoughts. Try and find the part of you that has no judgment of these feelings. And when you do, when you find the part of you that holds no judgment and no resistance to these thoughts and feelings, you'll find that having those thoughts and feelings is suddenly less of a big deal. That you're able to hold those thoughts and feelings in a similar way that you could recognize weather that will, when it's ready, move on. Now, when you find that part of you that can hold a space for what you're experiencing, how would you become more of that part of you? Well, it would be to practice having the thoughts and the feelings while you find that part of you. You see, it's only when you stop judging the busy weather of your mind that you even start to experience the beautiful sky of your being. Your true nature is not something that you have to work for or strive for to achieve. Your true nature has always been a part of the soul that you already are. Doesn't it just make sense that to find that true nature would take surrender? Not work, not anything else, but surrender into the being that you are. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to open my arms to discomfort, to uncomfortable experiences. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning from sitting in uncomfortable weather that the weather is always changing. It comes and it also always goes. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to trust, understand, and accept that as much as bad weather will also go, that means that clear skies won't be permanent either. The rain and the storm will come again, and having acceptance for those too. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to find the mountain in me. The mountain that has no resistance to changing weather. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us. Charlene, good morning. Pat, good morning. Pepe, good evening. Awesome seeing you all. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Linda. Wonderful weaving of the sky of my being. That's beautifully said. Thank you, Maggie. Have an awesome day, peeps. Lots of love to you all, hey? Ciao, ciao.